In this video, I will show you how I make a juvenile iguana salad, their food that they eat every day. We use organic greens and vegetables, so this is what I have today. We have arugula, which is their staple, a butternut squash that I'm going to peel and chop, collard green, this is I give them every day. Then we have russet kale, which I give almost every day. And then we have tatsoi, which is also very good greens for them. And for fruit, today will be small guava. And let me show you how I chop it and how I prep it. First, for your juveniles, you want to take out the stems, coarse stems from all the leaves. So I'm going to try to do it with one hand while taking video, but you get an idea. So here we go, basically something like this and something like that. And you want to cut it out. So there you go. These stems need to be taken out. Same thing for the russet kale or any other leaves. Again, I'm doing this with one arm right now, but you get an idea. You can just pull the leaves off the stem and take the stems out. For smaller, softer leaves where stems are not so hard, I just cut them off with a knife. So easy. Here we go. When you chop the greens for babies under a year old, they need to be really, really small, like tiny pieces, because they have really tiny mouths and they really can't eat big chunks of the leaf. So really, really tiny. See how small these pieces are? This is what I give juveniles that are under a year old. So they can eat easily and swallow these and chew on them. For babies that are slightly bigger, year old and bigger, the pieces can start getting larger because obviously they grow. So this is what you can give to the ones that are a year old, a little bit, or 2-year-old. So again, smaller the pieces, easier your iguana will eat. If the piece is too big, it will just spit them out and kind of go semi-hungry, I guess. So, but you want them to eat more and chunk them up. Okay, now that you chopped all your greens, but you only have like 1 or 2 baby iguanas, but you ended up with so many greens, best way is just go ahead and store them. So separate what you're not gonna use and put it into, I use like a Tupperware container. So just store it and it will be good for you for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days, depends how well your fridge is. So there you go, just put the lid on, seal it, and it goes into a fridge. Now the winter squash, first you need to peel off all the hard skin off it. I like to chop the end first and then just slice the section of the squash, which makes it easier to prep. I usually try not to buy huge squashes, but medium to smaller size because it's easier to manage and cut them through. When you cut the squash in the manageable pieces, which is this size, so you're gonna have to peel the hard skin off. And I use only raw squash. I do not nuke it or boil it first because then you're killing all the enzymes and good vitamins. So I'm gonna do it with both hands, not one hand. So here you can see I'm starting to peel the sides of the squash. Now that you peeled your squash, so it's a good nice piece that you can handle. If you have a grater, great. You can use a grater on a smallest setting. I use this ceramic grater. It's made for baby food, and I will start grinding it like this, and you will see, obviously I have to use 2 hands. And I think if you have small food processor, you can use that, but usually that works for bigger iguanas, like at least a year old or bigger, because it can never chop up the items in too small consistency. They're still a little too chunky for young juveniles. So if you have a grater, that works best for very young juveniles. Okay, let me show you what the consistency will be. So I just, obviously use 2 hands, but I just rub it like this, and you can see how soft it is. It's like literally like a baby food, and this is juveniles love it. So I'm gonna grind some more and I'll show you what I do next. Okay, so this is what it after grinding a bunch of it. I still have a lot of it left, so see, it's just it doesn't take much. So this is the consistency, and I am collecting it and putting it on the greens like that. So obviously I have several babies right now, so it's a lot of food. And if you only have one or two, then it will take you only like literally 1 minute to grind enough squash. So here it is. This is before I'm going to start mixing it. And before I mix this salad, I use a supplement which is dry alfalfa. So I'll put that first and then I'll mix everything. For the supplement, I use dry alfalfa and also Rapashi super veggie mix, which is also pretty much dry alfalfa with the additional vitamins in there. So I take 50-50 mix and I mix it like that. It actually, you know, and I keep it in the container. And again, I have several babies, so I use about less than half the teaspoon, and I just kind of sprinkle it like this on their food, and then I start mixing it together really well. Especially if you put the dry powder on a juicy squash, it will get absorbed, and so it's all well mixed. So here I'm gonna use 2 hands to mix it, and I'll show you what it's gonna look like as a final result. So this is what the final result looks like for juveniles. You can see that the squash is grinded up so finely that they can't pick it out. Pieces are very small, and this way they can swallow everything with leaves and not just eat veggies and leave your salad out. So and then I portion it out like that for babies. Remember, I put the greens into storage and I didn't add squash till later. So I prefer to add squash daily, fresh, grinded, because if you grind it up like that and store it in the fridge, I think it will start losing its nutrition, because freshly grinded squash does have better nutrition than the one that's going to be sitting in your fridge all mixed up for whatever 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So anyway, you can see this is what I serve to babies. Oh yeah, I forgot to add fruit. Oh, special treat for them. Today's special treat is guava. Anytime you're going to serve fruit to juveniles, make sure whatever fruit you're serving does not have any seeds or hard pieces to it. So I'm going to actually take seeds out of guava first. So here, as you can see, there are seeds inside. Do not serve that part to babies, but cut pieces, small pieces out, and then chop them into tiny, tiny bite pieces. Those are the tiny pieces, and I'm going to chop them even smaller. Okay, so these are really, really small, tiny, literally bite-sized pieces for very young juveniles. And I only give them like literally 1, 2, 3 pieces. Not too much, because they will fill up their bellies and then ignore the rest of the salad. So here, that's all they get. But they get so excited to get them. Makes their food really tasty. So anyway, if you have blueberries or other berries, you can use the same principle. Any fruit needs to be chopped really tiny for babies, because they'll eat the big piece and they will be full, and then your salad's gonna go bad and wasted, and your iguana is gonna get spoiled. So here you are, and this is the final product that I give to my babies to eat every day. So tasty gnomes. I hope you enjoyed my video. Remember to give them fresh food, give them variety, and they will grow up to be very healthy iguanas and be happy for many, many years and be great friends for you.